Welcome back to Kickin here with Mitch. Want to tell you thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you for your support. Continue to like, subscribe, and enjoy the content that we share. Today's episode is a special episode. This episode is in recognition of Black History Month, and we really just want to, express how we feel about Black History Month. Without further ado, let's get started. So with Black History Month, it means a lot. But before we start, I want to give a shout out to the city of Detroit, my hometown, will always be my home. Mad props to the Detroit Lions this year, the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Pistons, and the Detroit Red Wings. Go Blue. Mad shout out to the whole state of Michigan, the city of Detroit. Hey, you see what it says. So without further ado, let's start to talk about today's episode, which is Black History Month. So commonly, a lot of people, when we mention Black History Month, they contend or like to talk about Martin Luther King, how he fought to have a dream, Rosa Parks, and equality, and just making sure that we're not segregated to have to sit in a certain area or be in a certain area to be recognized. And of course, Malcolm X with making sure and standing up for certain things for us Black folks and the powers that be and the actions that are taken upon us, and freedom fighting, of course. But no one takes the time to actually recognize the person who actually made Black History Month something that's been established. And his name is Carter G. Woodson. He led an establishment for Black History Month. He's the one that actually got this thing started. So mad props to him. Mad props to his family. And thank you so much. We here at Kicking It with Mitch don't just believe in Black History Month and recognizing that, because history is history. But because they recognize Black History Month in February, we at least wanted to recognize and honor it. But please understand, it doesn't end with just Black history. There's all types of history that we should recognize, not just in February, not in January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, August, October, November, December. We should recognize this period. So before we go into some of the Black history, we want to take time to recognize Bai Xing, which was the first Asian to make a movable printing press, movable type printing press during the Song Dynasty. And how about Native Americans? They've been around for quite some time and will be around, but they were the first to make the snowshoes, kayaks, baby bottles, syringes, and lacrosse. How about the Hispanic community? Antonia Novello was the first person and woman to serve in the U.S. Surgeon General. How about the Caucasian community? Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the phone. And that's just some of it. We could deep dive into it, but we just want to recognize some of the other ethnics and communities and such that provided history for the first time and made some very special, remarkable connections to us, because all of that stuff affects us to this day. Going back to Black history, one of the first NBA head coaches to ever win an NBA championship was Bill Russell. One of the first NFL coaches to win a championship was Fritz Pollard. But man, shout out to Tony Dungy. One of the first to win a Major League Baseball championship was Cito Gaston. One of the very first Black champions in boxing was George Little Chocolate Dixon in 1890. Wow, that was a long time ago. One of the first ever to win a wrestling heavyweight championship was Ron Simmons. But man, shout out to Iceman King Parsons, one of the first to ever win a tennis championship was Aletha Gibson. And how about golf? One of the first to ever win a championship on a major circuit in golf was Charlie Sifford. Now, some movies that stand out that they teach us about that are very rich in Black history. Let's not forget about Roots, the documentary about Alex Haley's family. You know, his roots throughout the tribal beginnings through slavery and to freedom. How can we ever forget about Hidden Figures, which is about the first 3 Black mathematicians, women, who played a role into the astronauts launching John Glenn's launch into orbit. And last but not least, the 68888, the largest all-female Black Army Corps unit in World War II. All of this information is tremendous. The Black part of it is Black history. The other part of it is various different history. Together it's history. Together we want to share that as Black history. And together we want you to join us in understanding that we enjoy you guys and what you've done throughout all that time. Let's continue to make history, whether you're Asian, Native American, Hispanic, Caucasian, or even African American. We here at Kicking It with Mitch just want to say Happy Black History Month. But always remember, it's not about Black history. It's about all history. Thanks. Peace.
Thanks for kicking it with Mitch.